buhay sa kahanginan.
How are you doing, math fanatics? I am Teacher Aris, your math teacher for today. And now, we are going to discuss the first lesson on your module, which is operations on rational numbers. Please prepare your module. If you don't have a copy of your module, just prepare your notebook and your ballpen. Our topic for today is all about addition and subtraction of fractions. In this lesson, you are expected to add and subtract similar fractions, add and subtract the similar fractions, and add and subtract mixed numbers or mixed fractions. In adding and subtracting fractions, we have to consider if they are similar fractions, dissimilar fractions, or mixed fractions. Let's tackle first similar fractions. Similar fractions are fractions that have the same denominator. Below are examples of similar fractions: 1/6, 5/6, 11/6. As we observed, they have the same denominators. And 1/12, 5/12, 17/12. They have the same denominators as well. Take note that fractions can be added and subtracted only when these fractions are similar fractions. If A, B, and C denote integers and B is not equal to 0, then A over B plus C over B is equal to A plus C all over B, and A over B minus C over B is equal to A minus C all over B. We can say that in adding and subtracting fraction with the same denominator, simply we add or subtract the two numerators and retain their denominator. Let's have example number 1. 1/5 plus 2/5 is equal to 1 plus 2 all over 5. Where did we get that? Simply write the sum of the two numerators, 1 plus 2, then retain their denominator 5. So the result is 3, then copy the denominator 5. Another example number 2 for subtraction. 6/7 minus 2/7 is equal to 6 minus 2 all over 7. Again, where did we get that? Simply write the difference of the two numerators, then retain their denominators. Is equal to 4/7. Now let's proceed to dissimilar fractions. Dissimilar fractions are fractions with different denominators. Below are examples of dissimilar fractions: 1/2, 5/3, 11/6, and 1/12, 5/7, 17/22. As you observe, they have different denominators. Dissimilar fractions cannot be added or subtracted directly. You need to convert dissimilar fractions to similar fractions. Don't you worry, we have to follow the simple steps in adding and subtracting dissimilar fractions. Step number 1. find the least common multiple of the denominators, and we call it LCD, or least common denominator. Step number 2. Use this technique in changing dissimilar fraction into similar fraction. LCD divided by denominator times numerator. Step number 3. Now use the technique in adding or subtracting similar fraction. Let's have an example number 1. 2 over 5 plus 1 over 4. Now we have to apply the steps in adding and subtracting the similar fraction. So step number 1, we have to find the least common multiple of the denominators. Since our two denominators are 5 and 4, we need to find the least common multiples of 5 and 4, and we call it LCD, or least common denominator. For multiples of 5, we have 5, 10, 15, 20, and so on. For multiples of 4, we have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, and so on. As you observed that the least common multiple of 5 and 4 is 20. Therefore, our LCD is 20. Since we have our LCD, we now proceed to the next step, which is to use the technique LCD divided by denominator times numerator. For 2 over 5, our numerator is 2, denominator is 5, and LCD is 20. So LCD 20 divided by denominator 5 is equal to 4. Then 4 times numerator 2 is equal to 8. That is why we have 8 over LCD, which is 20. Plus, for 1 over 4, our numerator is 1, denominator is 4, LCD is 20. So LCD 20 divided by denominator 4 is equal to 5. Then 5 times numerator 1 is equal to 5. That is why we have 5 over LCD, which is 20. Now we can easily add the fractions since they are similar. Is equal to 8 plus 5 all over 20. So 8 plus 5 is equal to 13, then copy the denominator 20. Another example for subtraction. Example number 2. 2 over 3 minus 1 over 2. Now we have to apply the steps in adding and subtracting the similar fraction. So step number 1, we have to find the least common multiple of the denominators. Since our two denominators are 3 and 2, we need to find the least common multiple of 3 and 2, and we call it LCD, or least common denominator. For multiples of 3, we have 3, 6, 9, 12, and so on. For multiples of 2, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on. As we observed that the least common multiple of 3 and 2 is 6. Therefore, our LCD is 6. Since we have our LCD, we now proceed to the next step, which is to use the technique LCD divided by denominator times numerator. For 2 over 3, our numerator is 2, denominator is 3, and LCD is 6. So LCD 6 divided by denominator 3 is equal to 2. Then 2 times numerator 2 is equal to 4. That is why we have 4 over the LCD, which is 6. For 1 over 2, our numerator is 1, denominator is 2, and LCD is 6. So LCD 6 divided by denominator 2 is equal to 3. Then 3 times numerator 1 is equal to 3. That is why we have 3 over the LCD, which is 6. Now we can easily subtract the fractions since they are similar fraction. Is equal to 4 minus 3 all over 6. So 4 minus 3 is equal to 1. Then copy the denominator 6. Now let's proceed to the next discussion, which is mixed fractions. Mixed fractions are quantities that have a whole number part and a fraction part. Below are examples of a mixed fractions. 3 and 1/4. In 3 and 1/4, 3 is the whole number and 1/4 is a fraction part. Since we already understand what is mixed fraction, so we'll now proceed to the steps in adding and subtracting mixed fractions. In your module, you have a ways in adding and subtracting mixed fraction. In here, I will introduce to you another procedure in doing so. Here are the steps. Step number 1. Change the mixed number into an improper fraction. How? Let's use this technique in changing mixed number to improper fraction. Denominator times whole number plus numerator. Say it again. Denominator times whole number plus numerator. Step number 2. Use a step in adding and subtracting similar or dissimilar fraction. Okay, let's have an example. Number 1 for addition. 2 and 3/4 plus 1 and 2/3. So, first step, we will change each mixed number into improper fraction by using this simple way. Denominator times whole number plus numerator. For 2 and 3/4, our denominator is 4. Whole number is 2. Numerator is 3. So 4 times the whole number 2 is equal to 8. Then 8 plus our numerator 3 is equal to 11. Then it will become 11 over our denominator 4. Take note that the denominator will be retained. Plus, for 1 and 2/3, our denominator is 3, whole number is 1, numerator is 2. So, 3 times the whole number 1 is equal to 3. Then 3 plus our numerator 2 is equal to 5. Then it will become 5 over our denominator 3. Take note that the denominator will be retained. Since we already changing mixed number into improper fraction, we can now apply the steps in adding and subtracting similar or dissimilar fractions. As we observed that the two fractions are dissimilar, so we have to get the least common multiple of the denominators 4 and 3, and that will be our LCD. For multiples of 4, we have 4, 8, 12, 16, and so on. For multiples of 3, we have 3, 6, 9, 12, and so on. As we observed that the least common multiples of 4 and 3 is 12. So our LCD is 12. Since we have LCD, we now proceed to the next step, which is to use the technique LCD divided by denominator times numerator. For 11 over 4, our numerator is 11, denominator is 4, and LCD is 12. So LCD 12 divided by denominator 4 is equal to 3. Then 3 times numerator 11 is equal to 33. So we have 33 over LCD, which is 12. Plus, for 5 over 3, our numerator is 5, denominator is 3, and LCD is 12. So LCD 12 divided by denominator 3 is equal to 4. Then 4 times numerator 5 is equal to 20. So we have 20 over LCD, which is 12. Now we can easily add the fractions since they are similar. 33 plus 20 over 12. So 33 plus 20 is equal to 53. Then copy the denominator 12, or 4 and 5 over 12. Another example for subtraction. 7 and 1/2 minus 1 and 1/3. So first step, we will change each mixed number into improper fraction by using the simple way. Denominator times whole number plus numerator. For 7 and 1/2, our denominator is 2, whole number is 7, and our numerator is 1. So 2 times the whole number 7 is equal to 14. Then 14 plus our numerator 1 is equal to 15. Then it will become 15 over our denominator 2. Take note that the denominator will be retained. Minus, for 1 and 1/3, our denominator is 3. Whole number is 1 and our numerator is 1. So 3 times the whole number 1 is equal to 3. Then 3 plus our numerator 1 is equal to 4. Then it will become 4 over our denominator 3. Take note that the denominator will be retained. Since we are already changing mixed number into improper fraction, we can now apply the steps in adding and subtracting similar or dissimilar fraction. As we observed that the two fractions are dissimilar, so we have to get the least common multiple of the two denominators, 2 and 3, and that will be our LCD. For multiples of 2, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on. For multiples of 3, we have 3, 6, 9, 12, and so on. As we observed that the least common multiple of 2 and 3 is 6. So our LCD is 6. Since we have LCD, we now proceed to the next step, which is to use the technique LCD divided by denominator times numerator. For 15 over 2, our numerator is 15, denominator is 2, LCD is 6. So LCD 6 divided by denominator 2 is equal to 3. Then 3 times numerator 15 is equal to 45. So we have 45 over LCD 6 minus 4 4/3. Our numerator is 4, denominator is 3, and LCD is 6. So LCD 6 divided by denominator 3 is equal to 2. Then 2 times numerator 4 is equal to 8. So we have 8 over the LCD, which is 6. Now we can easily subtract the fractions since they are similar. So is equal to 45 minus 8 all over 6. So 45 minus 8 is equal to 37. Then copy the denominator 6, or 6 and 1, 6. Please prepare your notebook and your ball pen. Perform the indicated operation and express your answer on its simplest form. I will give you 10 seconds to answer the question. Number 1, 2 over 9 plus 3 over 9 is equal to the answer is 5 over 9. Very good. Number 2, 4 over 9 minus 1 over 4 is equal to the answer is 7 over 36. You got it. Number 3, 9 and 5 over 7 minus 3 and 2 over 7 is equal to the correct answer is 6 and 3 over 7. Very good. To sum it up, let us complete the statements. Choose your answer from the box that best completes each of the statement below. Number 1, similar fractions are fractions with the blank denominators. Number 2, similar fractions are added by adding the numerators while retaining the blank. Number 3, the similar fractions are fractions that have blank denominators. Number 4, mixed numbers are quantities that have a blank part and a fraction part. Number 5, always blank your answer to lowest term. That's all, math fanatics. I hope you have learned something today as we explore the first lesson in your module. Do not forget to answer the remaining activities and contact your math teacher if you have some question. Stay at home, keep safe, and God bless us all. Bye-bye!